Hey, welcome back.
Hey, we're here with the next match for World's Imperial Assault.
Yeah, and we've got a little bit of a doozy of a match, don't we?
Yeah, our next two players know each other, don't they?
They do. If anybody was paying attention during the player interviews, you might be able to guess, although I think there were a couple pairs in the top 16. But this is probably going to be the most prominent and famous of them, thanks to one particular person.
Yeah.
Who's that?
I don't know. Why don't you tell us?
Paul Heaver, three-time world champion in X-Wing and runner-up 2 years ago at the Imperial Assault World Championships. His opponent is Ira Mayers, I believe. I apologize, Ira, if I mispronounced that. They are good friends. They room together every year at Worlds. When I see them at other events other than Worlds, like Gen Con and things like that, they're usually hanging out together, testing together, and whatnot. Surprisingly, though, their lists aren't identical, are they?
No, they're not. They're, I think, more different. There's more differences in their list than the last team, actually.
Sure.
Last grouping.
We have some of the same units. We've got the Weak Way Pirates and Jabba, but then we've got some new stuff, too.
Yeah, so we have Vinto in both of them.
Right, that's a new one we didn't see in the last matchup. He seems like he's just trying to unload a lot of attacks, right?
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't have very much health, but he has a lot of damage potential, and he can cause a lot of conditions.
Yeah, with the blue and green die as his base attack, that it's going to almost certainly get a couple free surges in there.
Paul Heaver actually has a Bantha rider.
With the Tamer, I believe?
I think he has the Tamer as well.
So that's going to let the Bantha rider do a bit more. He also has Onar, which we saw in the last matchup. So it seems like Paul's kind of going for the bigger, beefier guys.
Yeah.
Though I guess Ira does have a Gamorrean Guard as well. Ira also has Black Market, which we saw last round. Paul does not. So I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to play into things.
Yeah, if Black Market's going to be a huge advantage for Ira.
Right. As we saw last game, it seems like you're always going to be getting something, whether it be, like, I mean, obviously you don't have to, but you have the ability to get a command card or additional victory points, which is great. Sorry.
Oh, they do both have C-3PO again and Gideon, so I think we're going to continue to see those.
Yep.
I think in most of the matchups.
Yep, that was a pretty popular list in the tournament in general, just temporary alliance with some support units, usually C-3PO and occasionally Gideon. In this case, they both have both of those units. So we're getting a look as they set up the board. I think they're rolling for initiative here. Ira's not happy with his roll at all. And Paul cleanly wins it. The aura of Paul winning has already started with just the initiative roll. So Paul's still setting up stuff, showing off the World's Championship deck box that every attendee got when they came in. They got a shirt and that fancy little deck box that you saw him open up. And now he looks like he's about to place his Bantha rider first. Oh, we should also probably talk about the map. So we have, for the map this time around, we have the Anchorhead Cantina gaining favor. So during setup, the player with initiative claims 4 red mission tokens, then his opponent claims 4 blue mission tokens. Figure can, sorry.
Oh, yeah, a figure can interact with a patron. Its player controls to place one of its player's mission tokens on that patron, and then each player counts as having a number of victory points based on the number of patrons with one of his mission tokens.
So this is going to be, I think, a little bit more of an interesting objective than the last map, because you can give the patrons signaled by those neutral tokens there in the middle your token, your mission token, but so can your opponent. So there's no real incentive like the crates where you have to fight over them. Here, you can give them the mission token and then leave. Yep. Yeah. And also, if you have 2 or more patrons, you're getting a lot of victory points. Right?
Yeah, 3 you're going to be getting 10 victory points, which is a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a pretty significant jump. That means you only need 30 victory points to win the game effectively from other effects.
Yeah, 4 you could get 20, which would be halfway. to a win, basically. Do you think anybody is going to get to 4?
I didn't see many games doing that during the Swiss rounds. I think that's pretty unlikely. But that said, if you do get 2 or 3, I think the threat is there, and then your opponent has to really consider, trying to stop you from doing that, right?
Yeah, at a certain point, it's going to become pretty risky if somebody gets control of too many patrons. I would think that you'd want to step in before it gets to 4. I think at 3,
Yeah.
you have to
have to
make a move.
Yep, 3 is already a significant advantage. So you see them pretty much done with setup. They grab their command cards. Jabba's in the furthest back space in both sides, which makes sense. You just want him to kind of sit there. They say good luck. Friends are going to war. And Paul is activating Jabba the Hutt immediately. Focusing Onar, is that?
It might be. It might not be. It's hard to see right now.
Covering the art,
Yeah.
so it's hard to tell. But he passes the turn to Ira. Is Ira doing Jabba as well, focusing Weequay pirates? Or is maybe that's C-3PO. So why do you want to start with Jabba, Gwen? Why have we seen that so much?
I mean, really, Jabba is not going to be attacking. He's going to be assisting. He has just so much versatility in what he can do.
Right, he's got so many abilities.
Yeah. He can order an attack, a hit with 2 victory points. They won't be able to do that just yet. He can draw a command card, which might be great early in the game.
Yeah, why not? Go up a command card, get a little bit of an advantage.
He can make somebody else focused, which is great to start off with.
Right, we've seen that a lot, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, if you have all of your figures next to Jabba, you focus them, they're then going to go out ready to attack, have that extra die right off the bat. So you'll notice usually it's going to be Jabba activating or C-3PO or Gideon. All of them essentially are great for buffing your other units.
And why are we doing that first? Is that just because you want them buffed before they attack, or is there more to it than that?
I mean, you want them buffed before attack. Sometimes they have to be adjacent or in
Sure.
within range.
So you want to maximize that?
So you want to maximize it and then have them go out. Gideon can also have a unit move 2 spaces.
Yeah, I love that ability.
Which is great for getting another unit in
position.
optimal position to charge in and get off an attack without having to use both actions on moving.
Right, as we saw last game with Travis, he was trying to set up his position so that his units couldn't be attacked, and he couldn't be attacked, and then he could set up his attack. So we've got a couple moves in here, mostly, as you said, C-3POs and Jabbas and Gideons. I have yet to see that Bantha move.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the Bantha charge in. The Bantha's always scary. He doesn't have a defense die, so he can't defend against attacks, but he's so much health that it's going to still take quite a while to take him down.
It takes a lot of attacks.
And he can trample and do so much damage.
Yeah, he can trample multiple units at once. It's scary putting multiple units together when there's one on the board.
If he gets in the right position, it's just brutal.
And looks like Ira is counting out spaces. Ira's going to have to be mindful of that throughout the match. If he puts too many figures lumped together, Paul can really maximize that.
Yeah, we talked a lot last game about the risk of splitting your figures up. In this case, it's also risky to have them all right next to each other.
Sure. Yep. The cool thing, I think one of the reasons why we saw a lot of Banthas at this World is all 3 maps are pretty narrow. I believe the Anchorhead Canteen is actually the largest of the 3. As we saw with the last one, with Jabba's Palace, it's almost all hallways and tight corners. And then this is mostly hallways and a few rooms. And then ISB headquarters is also pretty much all hallways. So that really maximizes the Bantha's value, doesn't it?
Yeah, it means that it's a little harder to avoid the Bantha. You don't have enough room to spread out and still have line of sight for attacks if you're attacking ranged. It's going to be able to just come in and hit a lot of units at one time.
So it looks like they're kind of setting up. Paul's going after both terminals, trying to get a command card advantage early. Ira moved out his Gamorrean guards early. Not too worried about that. One thing about the Bantha is he has to move pretty far to get anything at this point in time. So I think Paul's not too worried at the moment, but he will need to be soon.
Yeah. Do you think the Bantha will be able to do much this round, or do you think it'll have to wait until next round?
I think he's going to have to wait until next round, but Paul has initiative, so that's actually good for Ira because he's going to be able to set up with the Bantha this turn, get initiative next turn, and then you activate the Bantha at the best time, whether it be at the beginning of the round or after Paul's moved into a worse position, if he's foolhardy enough to do it. See the first attack of the day of the match.
1 damage and 3 surge.
Not the greatest.
Not great.
No. See what Paul does. I believe he's attacking I think it was the pirate that came out to the terminal.
He just re-rolled. That's a little better.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty good upgrade.
3 damage and 2 surge, which definitely, I think, an upgrade.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he has range at this point. I mean, he can use the surge
to get range.
Right, but then he's going to be doing less damage. So Onar takes 5 damage. That's a decent start for Ira.
Yeah, it's a decent start. Onar still has a lot of health.
He does. He still has 10 health, which is usually a high health for most single units. Ira's moving out his other pirate. And I'm not sure he's using an X-Wing token there. I think that's hidden. I'm not sure.
I think so.
We'll find out later,
yeah,
I guess.
we'll find out.
These guys both play X-Wing as well. Obviously, Paul being a 3-time world champion, so they're using a little bit of both. Paul is activating, looks like his pirates.
Yeah, it's hard to see because he has part of the unit covered, but I believe he's activating the weak wave pirate.
One other interesting difference between these two lists is Paul is only running 1 pair of weak wave pirates, while Ira is playing 2. So while everybody seems to be running the weak wave pirates, it seems like Paul doesn't think, he thinks his points are better spent in versatility rather than...
Yeah, it seems like he doesn't want to put everything onto the weak wave pirates. So far, every list we've seen has had 2, so it'll be interesting to see if it's better to go with 1 and do the versatility, or maybe 2 is more of an advantage. So far, they seem very, very strong.
They are. I do think the one weakness with them, which I don't know if played into Paul's decision at all, but with the new tournament rules change back in the winter, figures defeated now give the opponent points when a figure is defeated rather than the whole deployment group. And weak wave pirates are a disadvantage in that regard, in that the deployment group is worth 7, but each figure is worth 4. So if you defeat a full group, you're actually getting 1 additional point. I don't know how much of a difference that matters to competitive players like these guys, but it is a difference. I'm really excited. These guys have tested together a lot, so this is going to be a good matchup because they know each other well. I have to imagine they know each other's lists fairly well.
You think they probably play together a lot, so I imagine they know what to expect.
Right. So do you think in a situation like this, do you think it's going to come down to the dice, or do you think somebody might be able to gain an upper hand having knowledge about their opponent's strategy?
I mean, the dice, you never know with the dice. If somebody rolls really, really well or really, really poorly, it can always swing it one way or the other. I think overall it's going to come down to who plays their list the best.
Sure. Yeah, I was talking to, I forget who specifically it was yesterday, but I was talking to someone and they were talking about how really their goal of the list they were playing was trying to minimize the randomness of the dice. You know, like we saw in the last round, there's a number of units that let you re-roll attack dice or remove the opponent's dice and things like that. And it's a really interesting way to attack a game like Imperial Assault, because there's the tactical advantage of the board, but then there's also that luck element of the command cards and dice.
Yeah, there's the luck element. I mean, we saw last time, Daniel, I don't know, he wasn't necessarily rolling all that well, per se. So I think even if you don't roll quite as well, if you have a better strategy, you can still make up for it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Daniel's rolls, there's, I would say nothing out of the ordinary, one way or the other. And here comes Paul's Bantha.
Yeah.
Right in the middle there.
Bantha is charging in.
Looks like he only got one Weequay Pirate, though.
Yeah.
But he does deal damage to a bunch of things, thanks to its area effect. Wow, that's a good roll. That's 3 damage. So Trample says, choose up to 3 adjacent hostile figures and roll 1 red die. Each of those figures suffers damage equal to the damage results. So he just dealt 3 damage.
Yeah, that's the most he could do.
Yeah, he dealt 9 damage total. That's rough.
That's a great way to start.
Yep. Talking about dice rolls and luck here. That's a good example of good luck. So he hit Weequay Pirate. I'm not sure what else I think both of the Gamorreans, potentially. There's doling out the damage on his guys.
Yeah, it looks like maybe one of the Weequay Pirates is pretty low on health.
I think that's actually the...
Or is that the Gamorrean?
I believe that's the Gamorreans. So one's pretty low on health. The other has 3 newly acquired damage.
My apologies. It's a little hard to see the artwork, so if we make some mistakes on which unit it is, that would be why.
So it looks like one has 5 health and one probably only has 2 or 3 health left. Ira, it looks like, is activating... that is probably his Vinto. Yeah, it looks like his Vinto. Paul activated his much earlier in the round. So Vinto, we talked about him a little bit earlier. He has a bunch of different abilities and can do a bunch of attacks, right?
Yeah, so he can perform 2 attacks with 1 action.
I always love units that do that.
Yeah, and then after he attacks, he can also deal damage to another figure within line of sight and 3 spaces. So if Paul has his units grouped up too much, or if Ira has his units grouped up too much, then Vinto is going to really be able to do some damage. He only has 8 health, so he's not necessarily going to last too long.
Sure.
Especially if he's next to the Bantha.
Yeah, that Bantha is, when it's on a tear, you don't want to be anywhere near it.
So now, would you target the Bantha right away? Or would you choose not to, knowing that it has 21 health even without a defense?
I think at this point, especially the way Ira has bunched up his figures, I think he has to. Either that or he's going to have to move his figures around. I mean, having both Gamorreans right next to the Bantha, I think is a big boon, because they can just start attacking right away. They don't have to move in or anything like that. I think really interesting question is going to be what he does first. The Gamorreans are low on health, so you want to activate them sooner rather than later, but at the same time, I don't know, as we talked about before, activating C-3PO or Jabba or somebody to help buff them would be more helpful in the long run if the Gamorreans survive.
Yeah, that's a big if.
That's fair. Yep. That's a good point.
I mean, I think at this point I might activate them right away.
It looks like Ira is mulling over this same decision right now.
Yep. And so far, it doesn't look like anybody's chosen to use the scenario points right now.
Yep.
Do you think that's just because they're such big threats that they just don't have the actions to do it, or? Yeah,
I don't know. I expected to see a little bit perhaps in the first round, or at least trying to, but they came in to the center so hard and so quick that it definitely, I don't think they had the chance to, at least the first time around. That said, I think the Bantha Rider actually might be beneficial here, because
he's right next to a patron.
Right, that's a great placement by Paul. The the Bantha Rider just wants to move a little bit to crush some figures, and now that he's in the middle of things, he doesn't have to move all that much to do that. So you can kind of move around, place out some of those the player tokens, and deal some more damage while he's at it.
Do you think maybe Gideon will eventually kind of move over towards the patron, or do you think he'll continue to use Gideon to focus?
I think you use Gideon strategically. I don't think you bother bringing him in at this point. Vinto, on the other hand, is a little bit more interesting because he can do a lot of attacks. You can potentially bring him in and do that, but he's going to die, as we said earlier. You know, with that 8 health, he'll probably die pretty quick if fire is concentrated on him.
It looks like Ira just moved towards the back here.
Yeah, he moved the Gamorrean, but he did not
attack.
He didn't go after the Bantha. Looks like he's going after the other figure.
Yeah, he's attacking now. Okay.
Not a great roll, but he's going to re-roll.
Gets the same thing. So that's 3 damage. And I think he's attacking Onar.
Paul uses Onar's ability and takes 2 damage, I believe. So what looks like Ira's trying to figure out what to do with the second Gamorrean. This is interesting.
He's looking at his command card, so he might have a card he wants to play.
Some tricks up his sleeve. It's interesting. You were asking earlier whether Ira goes after the Bantha or not, and he also has Onar, which, granted, Onar's probably not going to do as much damage when left alone as Bantha Rider, because Bantha Rider can hit multiple units at once. But I mean, that's another big unit with 15 health.
Yeah, it's a big unit. He does have a lot of damage on him at this point, so it might be worth it to take him out now if he can.
Right. That might have led to his decision to go after him.
That's a good roll.
That's
so
much better.
5 damage
on the Bantha Rider, I believe. The Gamorrean didn't move. Is he gonna? He's re-rolling, trying to max.
Oh, he did. That was a risk, and he got 6.
Tough luck.
Oh.
Looks like Paul played tough luck, I think, if I'm right. So that's rough for Ira. He re-rolled his die, got an extra hit, but Paul played tough luck to remove it. So in the end, it was 3 instead of 5. That's a pretty good play by Paul. I mean, I don't know a better situation to use tough luck in.
6 damage. That's the most he's ever gonna have dealt against the Bantha. So I think that was the perfect time to use it.
It's rough. If Ira had been settled with the 5 damage, he would have just gotten 5 in, because Paul wouldn't have been able to play tough luck. But
yeah, at least now though, Paul's used it up.
Yep, that's true.
Ira doesn't have to worry about it again.
So he's trying to spread out his units against that Bantha.
Yep. You're going to see him try not to group up too closely. He still wants to be in range to attack, but if he gets too close to the Bantha... Oh, it looks like they're checking something.
I think Paul was asking about the damage.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out who to go after. You think he's thinking about activating that Bantha?
Yeah, maybe. I think he'd love to take out Gamorrean now.
Yeah. Yep, he's going after that big bunch there.
Oh, is he going to fit? So I think, is he adjacent to
4?
So he can only use the ability on 3 of them. But
that's still. Let's see what this roll is. Yeah, I think you're right. It's only 3. You got 2. So that's what you kind of expect with the red die is 2 damage, but still, that's pretty rough. That's 6 total damage. And he's talking. They're double checking. I think he chose C-3PO as one of them, which is kind of interesting. We were talking earlier about not wasting your attacks on the decision of not wasting, but spending your attacks on C-3PO. And this is a way Paul can deal damage to C-3PO without actually, spending an actual attack, because he's dealing up damage to other units as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's really, I think the Bantha's optimally positioned right now, because he's going to continue to be able to adjust, I think, and still be able to use trample.
Yeah.
Ira would have to use possibly waste some time to get out of the way right now.
It's hard to run away from a Bantha, though.
Yeah.
It's like if the Bantha is charging you down, it's really hard to avoid it.
I mean, it's massive, but it still has 5 speed,
Yeah, that's the scary part.
which is really high. Most units are going to have to possibly waste 2 movements to get away from the Bantha.
Yep.
And I don't think that's worth it right now.
No. And at this point, you think Ira just attacks all in with all those guys?
I think so. I don't think he has enough room to space out his units to avoid having 3 get attacked by the Bantha and still get off an attack. Doesn't have much room to retreat back to right now.
No.
He could open the door, but that would take an activation or an action.
Yeah, that seems wasteful at this point. It's moving.
He's moving.
It's interesting.
He's
He's moving
retreating.
it back.
Yeah.
So, do you think maybe he's trying to retreat back, concentrate all the fire on the Bantha so that his units can't be attacked by all of Paul's other stuff that's spread about on the board?
Yeah, I think he's maybe using the Bantha to try to block any other attacks, take out the Bantha, and then charge back in. So we'll see how this works.
It's a pretty good attack.
5 damage in a surge, so that's not bad.
And Paul.
It looked like he maybe was looking at command cards. Doesn't look like he's going to play anything.
Yep, Paul's just putting in the damage. I don't know what he used for the surge, but Paul's got 10 damage on that Bantha Rider now.
So it's still just over half health.
Yep. The nice thing about for Ira is because the Bantha is massive, he doesn't have to worry about line of sight. His own figures blocking line of sight, which is what's helping him right now, moving his guys back and still being able to attack.
So Ira's retreating again. It looks like he's trying to prevent Paul from attacking everybody with the Bantha.
Yeah, I mean, even the Bantha's trample is scary enough, but
maybe he might change his mind. Do you think?
I think might be confusion over which weak pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Ira's going to be able to kill the Bantha this round? Do you think it'll survive?
I think it really comes down to the rest of the attacks. I mean, he has enough. He has enough figures on the board. You know, he's got 2 more weak pirates that are focused, plus Vinto. Seems hard for him not to be able to do 11 damage, but that's one whole round of attacks basically he spent just to take out the Bantha.
Yeah, and meanwhile the Bantha has done a lot of damage.
15 damage so far.
That's not bad.
No, that is pretty good.
I think even if the Bantha dies at this point, it's done so much damage to Ira that it's going to be hard when he comes out and goes after the other units.
Looks like Paul's attacking with Onar.
So
Ira
it's
has
an okay roll. Oh,
that helps.
yeah.
It's a little bit of an extra boost. One thing, if I'm Ira, one thing I'm really scared of with the Bantha is Junlin Terror, which is the Bantha Rider. It's a command card tailored to the Bantha Rider. You use it at the end of the round. You choose the figure, and he gains 2 movement points and may interrupt to perform an attack or activation ability, which in this case would probably be trample. So like, you don't want the Bantha to deal a bunch of damage to you, and then at the end of the keep your guys near him, and then at the end of the round
Deal a bunch more. Yeah. Do you think Ira's maybe being a little more cautious where he leaves his figures because of that?
It definitely looks like he's trying to spread them out a little bit.
So we have an attack right now.
On one of the Gamorrean guards. I think that's the less damaged one, because it looks like he finished off the damaged one, the highly damaged one with
he just had to reroll
Onar.
defense. So it was 3-2, still not bad.
Yep. I think it's going to live, but it's hard to say. I think he's attacking with the weak ways, which he might be able to get enough through with those double surge. If he can deal 2 damage and a pierce.
Looks like they're trying to figure it out right now.
Yeah. Paul explained what he was doing, and Ira put it on. So the Gamorrean Guard's still alive with 6 damage. So he's got 2 health left. He's already activated the Gamorrean Guards this round, so it's not a big deal. That said, it's pretty much just 1 attack away from being removed, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now things aren't looking too great for Ira.
Sure.
Paul has some damage on Onar, he has some damage on the Bantha Rider, but they both have so much health
Yep.
that, I mean, they both could possibly survive till next round. Even if they're defeated, he still has the Weequay.
He still has the weak way to deal some damage, and Vinto isn't a slouch.
Yeah, Vinto doesn't have as much health, but he can deal damage as well.
And all those conditions.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, I mean, at this point, if you're Ira, you just go after.
I think he
the
has to
Bantha,
take down
right?
the Bantha. And that's what we've seen him do so far.
Yeah, and even more so now that he's lost his forward troops, I think. I'm curious to see where he places his troops. He's in a little bit of a tight space now, isn't he?
Yeah, he doesn't have too much room. Looks like that's C-3PO, I think, coming in and focusing.
Yep. And looks like Ira still has one of the pirates. He's got probably Vinto and not sure what the one he's activating right now, Jabba. So he's activating Jabba, focusing Vinto, and drawing a command card. So I think that shows the strength of Jabba. He just sits there, he focuses a unit, draws you a command card, like you're just gaining advantage.
Yep. And since he's really just sitting in the back, you're not at risk of losing him.
Right. You're basically spending, I think it's 6, it's 6 army points to have those abilities every turn, basically.
And you do still have the option to attack if you want to spend the 2 victory points.
Yeah, he's not able to move very fast, but he hits all right.
Yeah.
He's got a red die and a green die. Looks like Paul's trying to figure out what to do. He still has a bunch of units to activate. He's got Vinto, Jabba, Gideon, and I can't make out the other one. Oh, is that Onar? I thought Onar activated this turn, but it looks like.
Thought so. It looks like maybe not.
No,
looks like he's activating right now.
Must have been the Weequay Pirates earlier that finished off the Gamorrean.
Oh, so he's gonna go and give a patron his token. So with just 1, he's not gonna get too many points yet.
I believe it's 2 points.
I believe you're right. It's 2 points, but if he can keep interacting with patrons, that's gonna add up very quickly.
Yeah, and with the Bantha Rider kind of closing off Ira at the moment, it's looking like Paul's going to be able to do that. Ira's activating C-3PO. And opening the door. Interesting. So maybe he's not going to go all in on the Bantha. He's maybe going to go after some of the Weequay Pirates or some of the other things that are sitting around.
Yeah, well, with opening the door, he now has an exit, so he has more room to maneuver.
That's true.
It also, though, means that Paul has more room to attack with the Weequay Pirates.
Yeah, I'm a little scared for Ira the next round when initiative passes back to Paul.
Yeah.
Those Weequay Pirates are going to have an open firing range, and, of course, the Bantha Rider's right there as well.
So we can't see his hand, so we don't know if maybe he has take initiative.
Right. Paul moved in Vinto. Looks like he's going to be attacking C-3PO. C-3PO is the closest, so I think he... Looking at his command cards, I think he might be considering playing one. We haven't seen... It's a very different game this time around. Not many command cards have been played yet.
Yeah, not many command cards. We're seeing... looks like Paul's a little more aggressive towards taking down C-3PO. I guess he can afford to some extent.
Sure.
I mean...
With all the other troops backed in the corner there.
Yeah.
Looks like 3 damages coming at C-3PO. Paul's considering another play. I don't think that's enough to take C-3PO off the board, right? Oh!
Oh,
Ira re-rolled
he needed that, so
into a block.
so Ira's gonna dodge that entire attack.
It looks like Paul's trying to deal 1 extra damage to the Gamorrean, thanks to his Vinto's Bolt Slinger ability. And he's doing a second attack, or maybe he's choosing the Gamorrean as the second attack. No, jeez.
2 times. I mean, that's always the scary thing about attacking somebody who rolls a white die. Is
Yeah.
Overall, usually they're not going to defend as much, but that every time they roll a dodge, it's just the worst.
Luckily, Paul didn't have a great attack
Yeah.
that turn, so it probably didn't feel as bad. And he got to finish off the Gamorrean with the Bolt Slinger ability again. He's played, can't make it out here, but it looks like he's getting another attack in, potentially.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, and he just rolled 3 and a surge.
It's not a bad. And he takes out
Oh, there's
C-3PO.
C-3PO.
He's playing a bunch of cards.
So would you say Paul's really kind of has the advantage at the moment?
Yeah, I would definitely say he has the advantage. I don't think Ira's out of it just yet. If he can finish off the Bantha Rider by the end of this round, which he has the ability
might be able to.
I think that would definitely even the playing field a little bit.
Do you think if he takes out the Bantha Rider and Onar that it might swing back in his favor?
Yeah, he still has to worry about the Weequay Pirates, and thanks to C-3PO and Gideon, those Weequay Pirates are still going to be hard to handle. So Ira can't lose too much in doing that. Losing the Gamorrean guards is a little rough because at this point his only real advantage is having an extra set of Weequay Pirates. So I think it really comes down to how much he loses in taking out those two. Maybe I don't know if you're him. Do you think you maybe go after Paul's Weequay Pirates instead, because that's two attacks from Paul rather than just the one from like Onar?
I think if it's Onar versus the Weequay Pirates, I might go after the Pirates, but I think for sure the Bantha you have to take it out.
That makes sense. Maybe perhaps a ranking would be Bantha Rider, Weequay Pirates, and then Onar at the tail end there. Vinto's annoying, but I feel like he's just not worth with all these other big threats on the board.
Yeah, I mean he can do some damage, but yeah, I agree. Compared to the other threats, I think they're bigger things to worry about right now.
Yeah, Ira is going after something other than the Bantha Rider.
It looks like that might have been focus. I see he has 3 dice.
Yeah, it was definitely focused. Wow, and he took out Onar.
Oh.
Nice. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I think Onar had 15 health. He only had 7 on him. I'm not quite sure where Ira got the extra damage, but that's a good play nonetheless. I think I'd still rather have the Bantha off the board, but that was only 1 attack, which is pretty useful. Still has 1 more left.
Yeah, I don't think he can kill the Bantha at this point. He has maneuvered away from it a little bit.
Yeah, with 1 attack, even though he's focused with that Weequay Pirate, it's going to be hard for him to take out any one unit, at least the Weequay Pirate or the Bantha.
Do you think he's hoping to be able to attack the Bantha and take it out early next round before it has a chance to activate?
I think that's probably what I would do. Oh, this one is double focused.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting. Oh, no. It wasn't. He only
just
rolled
1. So that's 6.
Not quite sure where that token came from.
Yeah.
And assassinate.
Assassinate.
Wow.
There we go. That just flipped.
Holy cow.
Oh, wow.
That's a big turn.
Yeah. I don't know. How do you think Paul can recover? He just lost his 2, would you say his 2 strongest units?
I mean, the 2 toughest to take out, right?
Yeah.
I think the Weequay Pirates probably do more damage than Onar, but I mean, he's a lot harder to take out.
Of health that's just been removed. That was a good play of
that was a strong play. Good rolls and good command card play there by Ira. I think that's kind of what we were talking about last round about, spending your command cards wisely. I think Ira's doing a little bit of a better job of it than perhaps Travis did. It's hard to compare, but it certainly seems like they're working a little better for Ira at the least. And now he's running away from those weak way pirates. See, the tables have turned.
Yep, very quickly.
Yep. One of the weak way pirates for Ira does have some damage on it. I think the other set has a fair bit of damage on it, so he doesn't necessarily have the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, it could turn back very quickly. We see Paul just use Gideon to move one of his weak way pirates up closer to attack.
But that certainly, I feel a lot more comfortable in Ira's position now. I feel like I actually have a shot.
It's a closer match now. If he didn't take out Onar and the Bantha Rider, I think it was going to
for sure
swing in Paul's favor very quickly.
Especially if Paul got initiative this coming round.
Yeah.
Looks like Paul has Jabba to activate, and then the round will finish up. So I forget, it was Ira that has Black Market, correct? So it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as well. Now that the scores have gone up a little bit, and there's a lot less figures on the board.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't use it at the end of the round. Do you?
Oh, I mean, of course, yeah. You want to use it,
and he can just put the strain on Jabba, probably.
Yeah, don't worry about Jabba. Put it on there. I think if I were him, I might actually go for the victory points rather than obviously, you want to see what command card it is. But at this point, they both have 17 points. If Ira flips a command card and then he just rushes in and throws a couple tokens on the patrons, he could quickly get there. Looks like he's going for the attack right now, though. Looks like tools? No, that's not tools for the job. Whoa.
Oh, that's not a great roll.
No, that's a bad roll. Ira can't be happy about that.
No.
That said, luck goes both ways. They're both smiling. I think they both are a little amused at the twist. I was trying to figure out what to do. I mean, he does have 3 surge, so that's... Vinto has a lot of surge abilities, so you can't be unhappy about having extra surge with him.
He can do 1 extra damage.
He can pierce...
That's not great, but it's not bad. He can pierce 2.
Weaken and bleed. So he's probably going to get all of Vinto's abilities off, and he's doing a little bit of damage. It looks like he can't make out which unit he went after there. I see a bleed token. I see... Yep, he got pretty much everything off there. And now he's going after... oh, yep. He used the Bolt Slinger ability to deal the damage to the other... He must have been going after the weak way pirates. There's 2 separate stacks of damage there. That's a much worse roll, actually, funny enough. I mean, he didn't have the focus.
As bad as the other one looked, the surge really gives you more options than it looked like at first.
Yep.
Right now, that's just 1 damage going through.
Yeah, I mean, he does get the Bolt Slinger ability as well, but he doesn't finish off either of the weak way pirates, which, granted, he probably would have had to get lucky to do so, but he piled on, I think, 6 total damage, 5 or 6 total damage, which isn't bad. I think...
So does Paul just have Jabba left to activate? Yep.
Yeah. I think at this point it comes down to who gets initiative next round in terms of just gaining a little bit of an advantage. Obviously, we don't know how exactly it'll play out, but...
Would you say this is a pretty close match right now?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Yeah, we've had some big swings. We've had some exciting dice rolls, and yeah, it's hard to tell. Momentum keeps swinging both ways.
That's a good attack.
Yeah, poor roll by Ira. So this is, again, we're swinging back the other way toward Paul. And Ira played something. I think he's getting to attack back. Or can't make it out.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's hard to see which cards they are. It's even hard to see the art from here. But we'll do our best. Ira's definitely trying to figure out things here. I think he's trying to figure out line of sight and whatnot. He's hiding with the weak way.
I think he's just trying to stay alive right now.
Paul's moving into position for probably putting down another token next turn, you think?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he's kind of optimally positioned to put down tokens. It looks like he's close to 2 more.
That'll get him pretty close. At that point, then Ira has to be really careful since he has damage on most of his remaining units. He can't risk them too much without fear of giving Paul the last couple points he needs to win. So let's see what happens with initiative here. Paul's obviously trying to take it. Ira flips over, take initiative. Wow, black market. I think it looks like Paul took it though. I wonder if the yep, there it is.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, that's
there have been a lot of dramatic turns of events I think this match.
Ira had a great flip there off of black
wow.
market. That's I wonder after that, I wonder how Paul feels about not running black market in his list. Now Ira has to figure out how best to win this. I do think it's a super close game. I don't, with all of the damage on his guys and with Paul able to just throw down a couple tokens next turn, activating those weak ways.
Paul could really potentially take out Ira's units very, very quickly with a couple lucky attacks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think he has fewer strong units left, so he might want to be a little cautious and get some points from the objective.
Ira's activating his damaged weak ways, his heavily damaged weak ways first. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, he probably wants to make sure he gets an attack off with them before they can get taken out.
Yep, but he does risk having them put more at harm, especially with that one there that he's touching right now that was pretty far back. Come out. I think he goes after Paul's weak way pirates, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's maybe going to move forward, attack, and if possible, move back.
And if he's able to take out 1, if not 2, at that point, Paul.
Yeah, it looks like he's counting how far he has to move in order to do this attack.
Yep. How far can I go so that I can still get back to hiding but be able to have range to hit? That's not very good range. But Paul didn't roll a very good defense either. So looks like Paul's trying to figure out things.
I mean, he can get 2 more accuracy.
Yeah.
And he has +2 accuracy by default. So.
I think it's 5 spots, though, which means he has to spend one of those surges on accuracy, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, he still has 1 surge left.
He does.
So
probably.
It's not terrible.
No, but definitely not the greatest.
Yeah.
You probably spend the surge on the +2 damage, right? To try and force 2 damage in?
Yeah, I mean, it's either +2 damage at this point or pure 1, so the 2 damage would end up getting him more, I think.
Right. I don't know which of the figures he attacked. I think Ira was asking how much health left. Paul held up 3 fingers. My initial thought is that's how much health is left, which is a bummer for Ira since he can only do 2 damage. Ira's trying to figure out his options.
Yeah, I'm sure if he could have just 1 more damage, or if he could have used one of those surges for Pierce as well.
Yeah.
Would have been great.
Paul used a command card to run away with the weak way pirates a little bit, and then Ira goes and hides.
Yep. Now he's going to activate the other pirate.
And he's going after the other pirate. So I think the pirate he's now attacking is the one with only 1 or 2 damage on him.
Yeah, I don't think he has line of sight on the second pirate, so he has to attack this one.
And without focus, without being focused, I don't think Ira can deal enough damage.
He might be thinking about not doing. Okay, no, he is going to attack.
He's again leaving, I think it's 5 distance, which seems pretty safe because you have to roll very poorly otherwise. Slightly better roll for both of them.
So, yeah, he has the 5 distance, only 1 surge.
Paul has 2 defense this time around. But Ira does have a little bit extra damage, so
Yeah, he looks like I think he can get 3 damage through.
probably,
He uses the
yep.
surge for +2.
Probably his best bet. I think that pirate only has 1 damage on it, so it's just going to go up to like 4. Look, he's going to re-roll. Gets the same thing.
Yeah.
So he dealt some damage this round, but not enough to really actually...
I think he was hoping to take out at least one of those weak way pirates before they had a chance to attack.
Definitely, and they both...
Unfortunately, they both survived, so do you think at this point Paul's going to activate them right away? And
I feel like he has to. He's kind of in the same situation as Ira, where if he doesn't activate them, they're probably going to get taken out the next round. Yeah.
Get eliminated. Yeah.
Yep. This is interesting. Ira definitely even the tables a little bit in the overall damage category, but Paul still has better board position. Here comes Vinto, who's probably going to try and finish off the 2, perhaps. He's at least going to get 2 attacks in, no matter what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. He didn't activate the pirates. Whoa.
So, not what Paul was hoping for.
No, that's a really good...
He'll still get to do the 1 damage with Vinto.
Bolt Slinger.
Yeah, through Bolt Slinger. But
Ira just blocked it all. Oh, what is that?
He just played a card. I can't see what it was.
It's too quick. It might have been heightened reflexes.
Maybe?
That would have been perfect in this case. Yeah, Ira picked up the die, so I'm guessing that was heightened reflexes. And then...
He just played another card.
What was that? I missed what it was. Either way, he took out a weak way pirate, though, with that attack. The question is, who does he go after now? Is the other weak? That was the one with a lot of damage, so he's going to have to do a fair bit of damage to take out the other one. Much worse roll for both of them. Although Vinto is going to get a couple of his surges
Vinto
off.
has so many options with surges that I think it's still going to end up being pretty good.
Yeah, he can get an extra damage in, and he can probably
Pierce or bleed.
Yeah, probably wants to pierce and bleed together. And that's assassinate, so he's just going to finish off. Whew. Paul coming in with the big attacks now.
Yep. This has been very back and forth.
Yep, very much so.
I think that might do it for Paul. I think he has the advantage now.
It's going to be interesting. He hasn't activated his weak way pirates. I think, if I'm Ira, I think I activate Vinto and try and finish off those weak ways.
Yeah.
That's you have to do that at this point, I think. Paul's going to activate those next. They both only have 1 health left. Looks like Ira's really trying to figure it out. I think Paul's pretty much done with his turn at this point. Obviously, he's activated Vinto to the extent he can and whatnot. Ira's trying to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I mean, right now, Ira's not in a great position. It's still pretty close.
It is.
Though right now, if Paul were to get 2, I think if he just got 2 more patrons, that would do it, wouldn't it?
I'm not sure if they're tallying the 2 points from the other one.
Okay.
If they are, then he would only get up to 38.
But it's very, very close.
Yeah, he's threatening it. Ira has to be very aware of it.
He just played a command card.
Paul's reading it. He's trying to figure out what it is. Not sure what that one is. Smuggled supplies, maybe? Paul reading it makes me think it's not one of the more common ones. Smuggled supplies is one I don't see as often. So it might be that one. Let's see if we can...
He's attacking, I think, the weak way.
Yep.
Pirate.
I mean, it seems like his best option, right?
Yeah, I don't know what else he would do right now.
Pretty good roll for Ira. Decent roll for Paul. And it
looks like he's maybe trying to decide what to do with the surge.
Yeah. You just add the 2 damage. Oh, no, it's Vinto, so you probably pierce, right?
So yeah, he could pierce, he could do 2 damage.
You pierce 2 to get through that. Yep, and he takes out the weak way pirate, and then he should be able to use Bolt Slinger to kill the other one. Oh, no, he's bolt slinging something else. Looks like he's bolt slinging Vinto. Paul's Vinto. Not a great roll.
Oh, terrible defense roll, though.
Again, back and forth.
I mean, that's the thing with a white defense die, is it can be amazing and it can be terrible.
You get that blank. So Smuggled Supply says use it at the start of your activation to recover 2, apply 1 surge to your attack results until the end of the round, or apply 1 cancel to your defense results until the end of the round. So I think Ira, even though it wasn't the greatest time to use it, I think he was using it just to try and make sure he can finish them off, getting that extra surge. I don't think his Vinto was damaged at all, so I don't know if the recover mattered at all, but actually it does look like his Vinto has some damage on it, so he must have recovered. He's trying to figure out what to do. So I don't know who he attacked. Do you think he attacked Vinto? It looks like he might have. Yep. He attacked Vinto, and then he's going to bolt sling the other weak way, right?
Yep.
That seems pretty strong.
How much health does the other weak way have left?
It currently has 1 left.
Yeah, so we might as well then.
But Paul's not removing it. Interesting.
No.
Interesting. I wonder what happened there.
And there, Paul is going for the objective here.
Yep.
Getting some more points.
So I wonder what Ira did there. Interesting. I mean,
looks like he's deciding who to activate right now. I'm not quite sure what he did before.
Yeah, Vinto, Paul's Vinto only has 2 health left, plus is already activated. He has Gideon and the Weequay left. It seems like he's maybe just going after the tokens at this point.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he could win just with the tokens.
Yeah. Ira's playing some cards. He focused the Weequay Pirate. Can't tell which card that is.
Yeah, and we see Ira now is playing a lot of command cards.
Yep, Paul played a bunch in a flurry last turn. Now Ira is. I think he's double checking points.
Yeah, they're.
Interestingly, Ira is running Celebration in his command deck. Something you don't see too often in competitive tournaments like this.
No, I mean, it's a great card if you can use it appropriately, but the timing of it is so bad. You have to kill a unique figure. Right. And have it in your hand when you do it. And if you go up against a list that doesn't have any unique characters, that's
rough.
Useless command card.
Yep. Ira got a pretty good roll. He didn't.
Yeah, that's six damage. He doesn't get the surge.
But he takes out Vinto. The question is, does he have Celebration in his hand? I feel like he might have it in his hand because he was asking about the total points.
Well, he's not playing it.
No. Nope, he didn't play it, so he must not have had it. Paul's going for the tokens.
Yep.
He's going to go up to 38 here. Oh, nope, he won.
There we go.
Wow.
That's game.
Congratulations to Paul for winning that very close game. I think that was a lot closer than, definitely closer than the previous match for sure.
Yeah, and really what did it for him was the mission objective in this case.
Yep, yeah.
In terms of how many units they had defeated, it was very, very close.
Yep. Yeah, I think that Bantha Rider actually played a key role too. Coming in there and scaring Ira away from the center allowed Paul to
Sweep
take.
in, yeah.
He came in and took those tokens. They're obviously talking about it right now. It looks like.
Ira was into the back half of the map just because of the Bantha Rider in the first round.
And he made some great plays. He took out a number of key figures at the time he needed to, but it seemed like he fell just short there.
Yeah, I mean, there was some great back and forth. There were a lot of moments where it looked like Paul had it kind of in control and Ira was able to swing it back in his favor a little bit. But ultimately, I think Paul just
had a slightly better position earlier there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. It looks like Ira's just saying, like, there's nothing I could do. Shrugging.
Well, the 3 damage with the Bantha, right?
Oh, that was right.
Right first round was rough.
That was really bad for Ira. But yeah, that was a great match. That was one of the more exciting Imperial
Yeah,
Assault
I
matches I've seen in a long time.
I think that was a very fun match. Having Ira get the take initiative right at the right
That
moment
was
was
yeah, that was
great.
key. If he didn't have that, I don't think he would have even had a shot.
Yeah, really good plays of assassination.
Yeah. Hey, come back.
Hey.
Yeah, the command cards were key. They played them at the right times. It seemed like.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was back and forth. Good dice rolls. I mean, we saw a lot of strong dice rolls. I don't think we saw too many weak ones, so to speak.
Yeah, we saw a lot of very good dice rolls. A lot of great use of surge abilities.
Yep.
Dodge.
Yeah, Vinto played pretty key role in those for both sides, I feel.
Yeah, I mean he's not as strong in terms of pure damage, but just everything he can do with those attacks really adds up pretty quickly, it looks like.
Yeah, as we saw, he was pretty versatile. You know, when he needed to, he pierced and gave the bled condition. Other times he'd get some extra damage in and stuff. I don't know, I've never played with him before, but now I kind of want to.
Yeah, no, I think he'd be fun. I love the Bantha Rider.
Yeah. I mean, I think we've both played with Bantha Riders before, and it's always fun. The Bantha Riders, like as we talked about, you can just smash in, especially on the maps like this. You know, with the small corridors and whatnot, it makes it hard for your opponent to get out of the way.
Yeah, Paul was really able to just corner Ira in the back with the Bantha Rider.
Yeah, yeah, and as you said, that roll of 3 early on, I think really put Ira in the back foot with the Gamorrean guards. He'd brought those out early. You know, he was probably going to try and do a lot of damage with them. And
that just completely destroyed
fell
that plan
apart.
right there.
Yeah, they were damaged early, and then they went down pretty quick for him, unfortunately. So we're done with this game, but we still have a couple games going on. We're probably about 20 minutes to half an hour away from the next game starting, but we will be back with that. For the moment, I think we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
And
we'll be back at, looks like 5:50.
Yeah, we'll be back about 5:50. Hopefully have your next matchup for you. So, see you soon.